He thought it was just another homeless man sitting on the corner until he heard him speak. It was early morning, that strange hour when the city is half asleep, and the world feels like it's still deciding whether to wake up. Daniel grabbed his usual coffee from the corner cafe and started walking to work. The same route, same faces, same noise. But that day, something made him stop. There, near the bus stop, sat an old man wrapped in a tattered coat. His hair was wild, his hands trembling slightly as he held a cardboard sign that read, "Just trying to get home." Daniel almost walked past. He had seen him before, quiet, never begging, just sitting there. But today, the man was humming, a soft, haunting tune that seemed oddly familiar. Daniel slowed down, curiosity taking over. The melody, it wasn't random. It was structured, deliberate, the kind of tune you'd hear from someone who knew what music meant. So Daniel approached and said quietly, "Hey, I know that song. Where did you learn it?" The man looked up, his eyes surprisingly sharp despite the exhaustion in his face. He smiled faintly and said, "I wrote it." Daniel blinked. "You wrote it?" The man nodded. "A long time ago, when people still listened." There was something about the way he said it, heavy, almost poetic. Daniel hesitated, then sat down beside him, ignoring the curious glances from passers-by. "What do you mean, when people still listened?" The man took a deep breath and replied, "I used to be a musician, played in orchestras, recorded for film scores, but life doesn't always play the notes you expect." Daniel felt something twist inside him. He'd been struggling himself, a dreamer trapped in an office job, afraid to chase what he really wanted. And here was someone who once had it and lost it all. They talked for nearly 20 minutes. The man's name was Arthur. He told Daniel about the years of traveling, composing, performing in front of thousands, and then how it all fell apart. His wife passed away, the depression followed, and eventually the music stopped. "But I still remember every note I ever wrote," Arthur whispered, tapping his temple. That's the thing about art. It never leaves you, even when the world does. A silence hung between them. The morning sun was rising now, washing the city in gold. Daniel finally asked, "If you had one more chance, would you play again?" Arthur smiled, the kind of smile that looked like it had been waiting for years to escape. "I'd play until my hands couldn't move." Without thinking, Daniel reached into his wallet and pulled out a small folded paper, a business card. "There's a cafe near my office," he said. "They host open mic nights every Friday. Come tomorrow, no pressure, just play one more time." Arthur looked at the card, then at Daniel, his eyes wet but shining. "Maybe the world still listens after all," he murmured. The next evening, Daniel waited anxiously at the cafe. Minutes passed, no sign of Arthur. Just as he began to think the man wouldn't come, the door opened. Arthur walked in, still wearing the same worn coat, holding a small, old violin case. The crowd quieted as he stepped onto the small stage. And when he began to play, everything stopped. Every sound, every thought, gone. The melody was heartbreak and hope woven together. People stared, some with tears, as if they could feel his years inside every note. It wasn't just music, it was a life story sung without words. When he finished, the room erupted in applause. Arthur bowed slightly and looked at Daniel from across the room. For the first time, Daniel saw not a homeless man, but a man who had simply been waiting to be heard again. The next morning, Arthur was gone from the street corner. But taped to the bench where he once sat was a note. It said, "Thank you for reminding me that silence isn't the end of the song. Sometimes all it takes is one person to listen." Daniel folded the note gently and slipped it into his wallet. That day, he didn't just go to work. He went to chase his own dream again. Because sometimes it's not the man who needs saving, it's the listener who does. If this story touched something in you, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Stories that remind us everyone we pass by has a song we haven't heard yet. Tell me in the comments, when was the last time you truly listened to someone?